I'm really trying to, hold on. I'm trying to think because I didn't recorded so many songs since then. Give me like a good 10 minutes to try to get it in my head exactly what it was.
Oh, you
If I
good?
can't, I know I can go find it though, and I can post it for y'all so y'all can hear it. I can put it in the chat so y'all can go back to it. But right
Word,
off the
word.
top, I can't even think of that shit though, honestly.
Yeah, for sure.
That was a good one though. I need to go back into that. That was a good one.
Hey,
Ain't nobody
hey,
ever
one
asked me that
K.
before. What's going on?
Hey,
What's
one
going
K.
on?
My name's Karina. I'm a singer songwriter myself. So, first of all, huge fan. And I think you ended up in my room the other night. I appreciate you very much. Um, my question to you is first, I'm going to piggyback off that. You said you don't write your stuff. Do you mean someone else writes it for you, or you're saying you freestyle it?
Yeah, I just freestyle it. Honestly, growing up, my music like idol was Lil Wayne. So like
Love
I
it.
just I just always like looked up and I honored the fact that he didn't need to go up in there and put nothing to no pad to no pen. Well, honestly, I fell in love with the newer Wayne. So like the one when he was just kind of making samples to everybody else shit where he was just rapping on everybody else shit. That's the Wayne that I fell in love with. And
Me too.
I looked at an interview and he was saying that after the Hot Boy situation, he stopped basically writing like everything. He said he had like one book, and he said he just wrote out like everything that was wrote out in there. He just wrapped it on one song, and the song was like 10 minutes long, type shit. And after that, he said he was just too talented. He don't need to write. Like he just gonna go in there and drop what he feel. So from that, I got inspired from that, and I was just like, you know what? I'm not writing nothing. Like if it don't come out how it's supposed to come out when I want it to come out, then we just gonna chalk that, throw that in the trash, and we gonna keep going. But I never I never was in that process of writing. I want to get into that process though, because that's a whole different bag right there. I want to be able to write music for other people, like not myself, but just write music for other artists.
Yeah, to be honest with you, right now that's where the money is in the industry. You'll make more money doing that by being a writer, because you can sell songs, and someone like you who's so versatile and so talented in different genres, you can definitely, yes, every one of them is your baby, which I can identify with as a artist myself. However, there's ones that you are not that tied to that you would be willing to, sell, correct?
Exactly, exactly. Honestly, once I really kind of got serious with the music, that's something that my mother told me. She was like, "Man, you so damn dope, and you be so everywhere around when it come to music." She was like, "It's a couple people that you just know, far as industry people, where I'm pretty sure like you might not think that it's gonna do nothing, but if you give it to them and they say it because they fan base and the status that they already got, that should probably be a hit record, and
Go
that'll make you
viral.
a lot of money." Like, so
Correct. And you'll
lately.
make money off of that.
Yeah, so lately that's really kind of what I've been doing. Like I make certain songs, and if I don't feel like it's something that I'm gonna drop, I try to like shop it around and try to see if I can get somebody else to get on it or do something with it.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
love.
guys, can I just say one thing? If it's okay with everyone on stage, is it okay? Can I say one thing to do with this discussion?
This is
And
an interview.
is
You
it
can
okay?
answer the
Is it
question.
okay? Can I say something?
Yeah, the stage is
Yeah,
open
can
for
I finish?
questions.
Of course, of course.
Okay. Thank you so much. I'm sorry, I won't be long. So I really, really admire you for your resilience, because something you said resonated to me as an artist is that we can continue going, and if we quit, we'll never make it. It's very hard to keep going, especially when it takes money to make money. And when you don't have endorsements, you got to pour into yourself. Now, you working with someone like Future, how did that help or digress in any type of way?
Um, well, okay. Before I got around him, I started off where it was just like I kind of told my mom and my step pops like, hey, like I don't, because they was pushing for me to do the basketball thing, like I was saying, but I kind of like started noticing that I was kind of starting to get heavy into the streets and heavy around the wrong crowd of people that I probably shouldn't have been around, but because the fact that I was, trying to be hard headed, I was thought I was grown, I was doing what I was doing. I caught a couple like felony charges that college scouts eventually, they kind of dropped out. Like they wasn't really trying to like pick me up to play basketball no more. So I just was telling them like, look, only thing else that I know that I could do for a fact is the music. But I never really kind of let them hear the music. So once I kind of let them hear like rap, like my mama just kind of put me on the spot. She was like, "Well, let me hear like something like." So I just play like a little, instrumental and rap to in front of both of them, and they was just like, "Oh, okay, well, you actually talented in it." So they was telling me like if I could stay out of trouble for 2 months, like the whole summer, basically, like they'll buy me a computer and a speaker, and then my step pops, he's like real heavy like in church and stuff like that. So it's different equipment and different stuff that he was able to get his hands on, like probably without even having to pay. And I stayed resilient to it. I stayed out of trouble. I was doing everything I was supposed to do around the house. They brought me everything. And somebody from my school showed me how to put like a little I think it was FL Studios or something like that. They showed me how to put that on there and showed me how to record myself. So once I made like my first song and they heard it, like the song that I was telling somebody else about, I went and performed it at a talent show. So my mom them still didn't take it fully serious until they went to the talent show and seen the type of feedback that I got. I ended up making
Can I
like
sing for
second
you then?
place. I made like second place in the with the song or whatever. I lost to somebody that was singing. Of course, they everybody loves singing, so I lost to somebody that was singing the song. But I came in second place, and I was only in ninth grade at that time. Like, so from that point on, everybody like around school and around like my area was kind of like taking me serious when it came to the music. Like, so as I continued to kept progressing, it's crazy. Like my little brother, he was starting to get older and starting to get into the streets and moving around, and he just so happened to ran into Future's like little cousin, like his blood little cousin, and his cousin was trying to rap and do his little thing, but Future wasn't fully like taking it serious. You got certain people that's celebrities, and then of course, every cousin gonna come to you and tell you they could rap or they could sing. So it was like one of those type of situations where he wasn't really taking him too serious, but at the same time he was still supporting it. He was still giving them like the free band apparel. He was still like giving them certain chains and stuff like that for him to look cool while he was going to school. But long story short, my brother introduced me into him. And once we got locked in with each other, we made a song, and that song kind of started catching a little buzz and attention, like through Atlanta or whatever. And from that, Future seeing that and started kind of taking us a little bit more serious. So at that time, he still never like put us with no paperwork or did none of that, but he started letting us come to like the big studio and record. And that's how I started like meeting certain producers and different stuff like that had going on in the industry that was dealing with him off of his face card. They really wasn't too much messing with us, but just to look good in front of him, in front of Future, they was like extending their hand and giving us beats and doing certain little stuff or whatever. Like, so that probably lasted for like a good 2 or 3 years. And then the guy that I was telling you about, his cousin, ended up dropping a song that kind of like went viral through Atlanta. And by that time, me and his cousin was already like locked in. We kind of made our own little crew. Basically, it was like the same name of Future's Free Bands, but we were like made a run off of it and like called ourselves the younger versions of the Free Bands, which is Young Free Bands, and that's like our record label. So once that song went viral, Future signed like our label to his label, and then from that point, that's when like I started actually seeing like what the industry really has to offer, and going on different like interviews and different little situations like Rolling Louds and different stuff like that. I started actually being able to taste and see what the industry like has to offer for me. So once I got with Future and them, I can honestly say like it boosted me up, but at the same time, it was like I still kind of was in the shadow because nobody really knew who we was. Like we'd go and open up for them and do like do our thing, but they still never knew who we was. They wasn't coming for us. They was coming to see Future. You know what I'm saying? So I was in the shadow for a good amount of time, and I had to tell myself like, what can I do to get myself out of this shadow? I told myself like, man, I need to move somewhere. I need to leave from Georgia and go somewhere else and kind of like use what I got far as that family and that situation what I got locked in. Let me go take this somewhere else to a different coast and just catapult off of that. Like, so that's how I end up moving from Atlanta to California, and been doing my thing in California since then. So I can honestly say getting with Future, it definitely helped me. It ain't to do too much like financially, but far as just like the industry and the people that's already connected to him, they definitely started like reaching out to us and started helping us and doing stuff for us too as well. So it definitely was good. It was a good look for me.
So it
So
was a foot in the door per se.
basically, yeah, it was like a foot in the door because he didn't
But
even
then the
really.
rest you had to do yourself, right?
Yeah,
Just like any other person would have to.
yeah. So yep,
And you're
everything else.
resilient, which is beautiful because you're resilient. You recognize that instead of beating your head against the wall, you recognize that and moved. I love that about you. I wish you the most success, and I can't wait to hear what you do in the future. Hopefully, I'll be on a stage with you one day.
Oh yeah, most definitely, definitely. Thank you for that as well too.
I just wanted to give a massive shout out to Kay. Shout out to you. And shout out to all the moderators. Shout out to everybody in the room. Shout out to you. Sorry,
Thank
my
you.
sister
Appreciate it.
and
Shout out
her
to you too.
husband are just flirting in the background. Ignore them. Hello, can you close the door?
What's up with my
My
boy
sister.
Rocky, man?
Hey, Mr. 1K, how you doing? Welcome
What's
to
going
Talk
on?
Your